Good afternoon, Senators. The committee in the whole is hereby reconvened. I want to recognize the senators who are presently in the halls. We got Senator Tom Atta, Senator Tommy Morrison, Senator Luis Muñoz, Senator Will Castro, Senator Esteves, and Senator Mary Torres. We presently, I would not like to proceed with any further discussion until such time that we have one additional member in the legislature. So we're going to recess for a few extra minutes. Thank you. Good afternoon, Senators. The committee in the whole is now hereby convened. We have just welcomed Senator Sir Nicholas and Senator Nelson. Thank you very much, Senators, for joining us this afternoon. We concluded at the consideration of Vice Speaker Talahi's amendment. There was a decision by the chair. We are now going to move to her subsequent amendment. Vice Speaker Talahi, you're recognized for any subsequent amendment that you would like to proffer. Vice Speaker Talahi, you're recognized.
All right.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Please state your point of order, Senator.
Thank you. I'm just wondering, are we still on the, before we break out, I remember that we were on the position to overrule the chair for this previous amendment.
I was requesting if in fact there was any motion to overrule the decision of the chair at that time. And then I said by virtue of no movement at that time that we will commence our committee in the hall with the subsequent amendment by Senator Talahi.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator. Senator Talahi, you still have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would ask that we recess until council's available. Are they there? I don't see them.
Did you need counsel with regards to any of your subsequent
Yes,
amendments?
I would like to discuss with them a motion that the ruling that this motion is out of order.
Counsel, can I ask you, we're going to take a 1-minute recess. If you can confer with the Vice Speaker, please, in regards to the decision of the chair previously. Committee in the whole is now back in session. Vice Speaker Talai, you still have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I've been advised by Legislative Council that a sua sponte ruling by the chairperson as to whether my amendment is materially different or not is not exactly in the rules, and that if you want to rule sua sponte on whether an amended bill is materially different than the original bill, that's when that kind of sua sponte ruling comes in. So I object to that, but...
So, Madam Vice Speaker, do you have a motion on the floor to overrule the decision of the chair?
No, I'm saying that the decision of the chair
I
is out
understand
of order,
the decision.
Mr.
I
Chair.
was part of that conversation with the legal counsel. Do you have a motion on the floor to overrule the decision of the chair?
I will make that motion, Mr. Chair, but I would just want it very clear on the record that the decision of the chair is out of order according to our rules. And if you are going to require something outside of our rules, I mean, I'm going to do it because I think it's very important. So I am making a motion to overrule the chair, who is saying that this one line that says any contract, memorandum of agreement, or use agreement for Hotel Wharf must receive legislative approval. And the reason why I want to put this into the bill is because we
Madam
are
Vice
by this. I
Speaker,
am making my argument on my motion,
I
Mr.
understand.
Chair.
For
So
clarity
if you would
purposes,
allow me
the
to
decision of the
finish.
chair is that the proposed amendment is materially different from the substance, the primary substance of the bill, which is the borrowing authority extended to the Port Authority of Guam. That's a proposal, and inclusive of
You
the
asked me if I
allocation
wanted
of
to
the
make a
bond
motion. Are you
proceeds.
going to allow me to make my motion?
I'm just providing clarity in terms of the decision of the chair. You may proceed, Madam Vice Speaker, but I wanted to ensure that everyone understands the
Are we going
decision that was
to
rendered.
discuss this motion, or are you ruling this motion, or are we not going, or what are we going to discuss
The
now?
ruling
I
of the
don't
chair has
understand.
already been rendered. If you have a motion to overrule the decision of the chair, the Vice Speaker has a motion on the floor.
Yes, and so I would like to discuss, I would like to finish making my
Okay.
motion. Because
proceed.
the motion is that, well, the ruling of the chair is that the words any contract, memorandum of agreement, or use agreement for Hotel Wharf must receive legislative approval. The chair is saying that this is not relevant to the government of Guam allowing the Port Authority of Guam to go out
Madam
and
Speaker,
borrow
Madam Vice Speaker,
$72 million.
please do not
And
place
part of
words
it-
into
please,
the
would you,
mouth
Mr.
of the
Chair,
chair.
either you let me
Please
speak
do
on my
not
motion,
place words
or-
into the mouth of the chair.
Mr.
My
Chair,
statement is that it's
I
materially
am
different.
willing to make my
from
motion,
the main
and I am
motion.
sticking to the rules.
Just do not interpret or misquote my motion or my decision. Madam Vice Speaker, you still recognize.
If I'm going to continually be interrupted, Mr. Chair, when I have the floor, then I'm going to start again.
When you're misreading the chair in the
I'm not
decision that has
misreading
been proffered,
anything. I am
yes, I
making
will
a
interrupt
motion.
because I don't want the people of Guam to misunderstand exactly what the decision of the chair is. And the decision of the chair is that this proposal is materially different from the primary provisions before this body, Bill 157-34. If, in fact, it's materially different, there's nothing that restricts us as individual senators to introduce a separate measure and proceed with that consideration before this body. Madam Vice Speaker, you still recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I am making a motion to overrule the chair's ruling that this sentence is materially different from the bill, and it sounds like the ruling would preclude us from including this language in the bill unless this motion to overrule the chair is passed. And it's kind of jungle rules at this point, but the only motion, the only words I'm trying to add into this bill at this point are the words that say that any contract or use for Hotel Wharf, and I'm paraphrasing here, must receive legislative approval. And the bill is the people of Guam, through the legislature, authorizing the Port Authority of Guam to borrow $72 million. But to pay that back at a rate of what someone here have calculated to be 1.2 per million for every million that we borrow. I'm sorry. For every 1 million, you have to pay 2.1 million, okay, even worse, $2.1 million, thank you. And one of the reasons that the Port Authority is asking for this authority to borrow is because they want to make improvements to Hotel Wharf. And part of the improvements they're going to make to Hotel Wharf is to match a grant that they received for $10 million. But what the government of Guam is going to put into Hotel Wharf is $14 million. And that's paid for by tariffs of the people of Guam. And the port has said in here that they are, and they've made, I've been to every presentation by the port and regarding this borrowing, and they told us they are going to improve Hotel Wharf for these very purposes. And today they're telling us that they are making an agreement in regards to the Tiger grant that they're getting for $10 million. They're going to make an agreement that they're in the process of this right now, but we don't have the details of what they're agreeing to, of the improvements that actually will be made to Hotel Wharf, or improvements suitable for what purposes. And so I'm just saying that I agree that if I'm the Tiger Grant entity,